generally speaking, the stock market is now 15%.
Right now, I mean, we've built our own technology, and we've earmarked in Melbourne, for example, about 35 to 40 properties in the city that would be ripe for repurposing. And they're not the 50, 60, 100 story or 80 story buildings in the city. They're between 5 stories and 10 stories. And they are ripe for residential conversion as far as lighting, natural ventilation, individual metering, and mechanical service, because you've got to run separate air conditioning systems and taps and water and services, etc. So they're right. Now the question is that they're zone commercial. So to get them, it's a process, and that building, that one for example, is that you can buy that building now for $70 million. And there's a myriad of these as an example. The time so you go in there and buy that and buy it at $40 million under market, and because the valuation has been belted by the vacancy ratio, and so you buy it at 70 cents, 65 cents on the dollar, for example. Then you've got to wait for how long you get approval for it. That's if you get approval, and how you get approval, and what conditions those approvals bring. Secondly, so that's miracle number one, you pay $70 million for this building. Miracle number two is you get planning. How long does that take? The mayor, incoming mayor, and others have also shared the view. How long does planning take to get approval to be able to commence construction? Now, it's not 6 months. It's certainly not 2 years. What we're saying is we'll purchase this building subject to ministerial approval. And because if you can't do that, it's rendered useless, because you'll never release that building up. So firstly is the price, secondly is planning approval, then the marketing. Who are the end renters, or if you're going to rent the property out or sell off the plan to a wonderful apartment in 420 Collins Street, for example, or 360 Burke. Who are the end buyers in that example that buy an apartment for $12,000, $13,000 a square with no car park? Are they renters even buying 20 or 30 squares in the city, having a great pad with unbelievable views? Who is the end buyer? Are you going to get a $2 million, $2.5 million, $3 million purchaser with absolutely no car parks in that building because there was just none available? So unlikely. And then you go back down to probably the inner city people. Well, how many apartments are competing at the moment in that space? So it's more of a renter's market, probably a conversion with government subsidy attached to it. I think that's where the market is. So government subsidy, 5, 10, 20-year lease with a takeout, whether it's NRES or not, money the housing scheme, that's probably where the market is. So it really, the only way you make the deal work, running the gauntlet, is a risk. Big potential. If the government are behind it, you could go into contracts subject to government approval within a period of time, probably pay a premium. Would I pay a premium for a surety from the government that they're going to do a takeout and lease back for 20 years? In that example, it's $70 million. Would we pay $73 million? Probably. On a 20-year government takeout, we would look at that. And we are looking at that on a myriad of other buildings, and not just here, overseas as well.